What's going on, guys? Zuko back with another Dragonflight video. How is everybody doing? Hope you're doing well. Hope you have your coffee. Start sipping on it. We're going to talk more about Survival Hunter today. I want to talk about a potential raid build that you could take into Dragonflight for Survival Hunter. I have a bunch of disclaimers to get to in a second, but we're going to talk about this. I'm going to try to go through a bunch of different classes and specs and see how many builds we can get that have, a raid kind of idea to them. I can't actually get into test the raid. It has very specific timings, and I'm usually making these videos in the morning and not at nighttime, so I can't really get an actual raid boss. But we can practice on the big dummy here and get a baseline feel for what it's going to be like going into Dragonflight. What does Survival Hunter have in terms of its tools to improve its single target damage? Because I think that it's fair to say Survival Hunter and Shadowlands had pretty ridiculous AoE damage, and they have a lot of that again. They're getting more tools for AoE damage, like Fury of the Eagle, cooldown on Wildfire Bomb, Coordinated Assault getting changed to buff your Wildfire bomb, and cool it down even more. And then also have Bombardier to give you even more bombs, and you can get Butchery baseline, and there's a bunch of really, really good changes for AoE. Are there a bunch of buffs that we get to single target damage for Survival Hunter? That's what we're going to get into. Disclaimer to start, I do have the tier set bonus on, and I do believe that this is going to be getting changed. Let me just bring it up really quickly once again here. This is going to get changed to a slightly different thing, and I will read it off. I forgot to pull up WoW ahead of time. Of course I did. Right here. So let me look at this really quick. I'll just read what this is going to be happening like today or like later this week. I don't know when beta. I think beta is like Wednesday or Thursday that it resets. So the Survival Hunter set right now says Mongoose Bite, Carve, Butchery damage increased by 10%. Great. Mongoose Bite, Carve, Butchery have a 101% chance to make your next Mongoose Bite, Carve, Butchery cost no focus. That's not really working. I believe it's a 10% chance. But they're going to change the tier set bonus, and here's what I'm just going to read it out to you. Here's what the tier set bonus is going to be now. 2 set bonus went up to 15%, so instead of a 10% bonus, it's 15% now to Mongoose Bite, which is great for single target. Excuse me. And then the 4 set bonus says, chance to make Raptor Strike, Mongoose Bite, Carve, Butchery cost no focus is increased to 20%, so it's buffed. Instead of a 10% chance, it's 101 right there, but imagine that's just a 10% chance. That's going to 20% chance. And the free abilities that proc also deal 50% more damage. So the tier set bonus is essentially getting like doubled in terms of its stats almost. Like you're getting a 15% more damage hike. You get 5% more damage than you have right now to Mongoose Bite. And then you have double the chance for it to be free, and it's going to do 50% more damage. So imagine that the damage that we're doing today, it's going to be more than what we're even doing today. The single target damage is going to go up for sure, which is really, really great. So I just wanted to update you on the tier set bonus. My item level right now is 372. This is probably like mythic eye level around +2 to +5. If you're in season 1, you have all the tier set stuff you want, and you're like your item level is around mythic 0 to mythic like 4 or something. Anyway, just so you guys have a baseline. Here's what the talent tree looks like. Let me look at the class tree really quickly. Let's talk about the class tree in terms of defensives. I always want to do this with the raid builds because I need you guys to, we all want to understand, like, is there a lot of survivability in this spec that's going to help me survive a raid fight? Because you need your own damage reduction, need your own healing in a raid fight. Yes, there's usually 3 or 4 healers, but you should always, always have an ability to survive on your own. Now, I just did Windwalker Monk, I think a couple days ago, or yesterday, and they have an outrageous amount of defensives. Hunter traditionally has been either the worst or the second worst. I think it's been the worst. Priest is a close second. Priest and Hunter have been traditionally the worst classes in terms of defensives. Always very, very bad. And so let's see what they did in Dragonflight. Are they shoring that up? And the answer to that question is absolutely yes, they are. Let me just move this here for a sec. So what are we getting in the class tree that helps us survive a raid fight? First, we're getting the focus. Every focus you spend reduces the cooldown on exhilaration. So that's been in the game for a long time now. We're getting that. We're also getting exhilaration is healing you for a certain, you can do 20% of your maximum health over 8 seconds. So that's a conduit in Shadowlands right now. And so we're getting that as well as a talent. On top of that, we're gaining survival of the fittest. And this was like the defensive pet that you would take in previous expansions where it would give you this ability, this defensive ability. But then you lost things like the leech, which you can see on the top of my screen here. I have 10% leech as well from having like an offensively focused pet. So I'm getting the 10% leech and as more healing, and I'm getting survival of the fittest just baseline now, which is insane. And then there's a buff you can get to survival of the fittest. The one I'm using right now is Lone Survivor, which essentially says, hey, we're going to reduce the cooldown of survival of the fittest. Gopi, there you go. Sorry, my cat's jumping up. We're going to reduce the cooldown of survival of the fittest and increase its duration. So instead of it being a 2.5-minute cooldown, it goes down to a 2-minute cooldown, which is really good. Or I could have taken survival of the fittest reduces damage taken by an additional 20%. So I could have had a 40% reduction, which is probably the way to go in certain boss fights. There's going to be certain boss fights like that have just massive slams that are going to do like all of your health in damage, and you really want that 40% DR for that one moment. Think like Sludge Fist, right, in Castle Nathria, that kind of idea. So very good baseline addition to our defenses. Survival of the fittest is coming in. On top of that, Born to be Wild is also reducing the cooldown. So I'm sorry, Born to be Wild, sorry, is reducing the cooldown of Survival of the Fittest and Turtle, which we get Turtle baseline. I'll talk about that in a second, but Survival of the Fittest goes down by 20%. And then it goes down by 30 seconds. So it takes it from, I believe, a 3-minute cooldown to a 2-minute cooldown. I'm pretty sure that's what those are doing. So Born to be Wild is very, very good. You're also getting cooldown reduction on Turtle. So Turtle's a 2.4-minute cooldown. Okay. Survival of the Fittest is a 2-minute cooldown because of the talents that I've taken. Exhilaration is a 2-minute cooldown. It heals you for even more, and the cooldown comes down for every 12 focus you spend. And then finally, you do have Camouflage as well. In a raid boss encounter, this is not really going to be helpful. If you're a Night Elf hunter, then I think you could Shadow Meld technically and then Camouflage, because Camouflage can't be used in combat. So probably not helpful here, but I just want to make sure you guys understand that it's there, which is really cool. Good for PvP, right? But the main heavy hitters here are Survival of the Fittest, getting Exhilaration, the cooldown down, and it's healing you for extra. You can buff Survival of the Fittest with Born to be Wild and Lone Survivor, and then you also have Aspect of the Turtle. So 2.4-minute Aspect of the Turtle, 2-minute Survival of the Fittest, and then your heal, which is very, very good. On top of that, for Survival Hunter, you have your Mastery, which is going to heal you for 2% of your maximum health every 5 seconds. Not that crazy, but also you get Predator's Thirst. So all in all, Hunter, and in particular Survival Hunter, the survivability of our spec went way up, I think. Especially just getting Survival of the Fittest is insane, but also having all the extra additions. You know, you used to have to pick between Camouflage and some of these other buffs that would buff Exhilaration and stuff like that. So now you get them all, and that's a really big bonus to Hunter's survivability, which has traditionally been the worst in the game. So that's the class tree. That's how you're going to survive in a raid. How are you going to do damage with a single target build? Okay, so the big question we have to ask ourselves is, what are we doing with Survival Hunter single target? And of course, it all boils down to Mongoose Bite. This is the main thing you're going to be doing. So a brutal attack that deals 20,000 damage. Every time you press Mongoose Bite, you start getting the Mongoose Fury buff, and it builds up over time, and you do consecutively more damage with each hit that you're doing, okay? And that ramps up. So what are we trying to do with the rest of the talent tree? We're trying to maximize our uptime with Mongoose Bite. And how do we do that? Well, the bottom line is you're going to take a bunch of... Mongoose Bite is like... It's like the main event. It's like the Hugh Jackman, you know? Huge Jackman. It's like Hugh Jackman. He's the main actor, and everybody else around him is supporting Hugh to make this thing work, okay? Mongoose Bite is Hugh Jackman, and then all these other buttons around him that don't do a whole lot of damage, they are here to support him, and let me show you what I mean. Mongoose Bite is doing about 50% of my damage, or a little bit more than that. And then we have the supporting cast coming in around him. Things like Spearhead, things like Flanking Strike, things like Death Chakram. Those are the main three kind of support pieces that we have. Death Chakram, again, not doing very much damage, but what does it do? It gives me 10% more damage dealt to the target for 10 seconds. That's a big amp for Mongoose Bite. Spearhead, what does it do? Well, when it's active, the focus cost of Mongoose Bite goes down, which lets me cast more Mongoose Bites, and it makes Mongoose Bite apply a bleed, which is really, really good. Okay, so again, it's supporting Mongoose Bite. Flanking Strike doesn't do a ton of damage. What does it do? It generates 30 focus for us so that we can continue to Mongoose Bite. This is what this build is designed to do. On top of that, there's further supporting casts with buttons like Viper's Venom. Raptor Strike and Mongoose have a 30% chance to apply Serpent Sting. You never have to press Serpent Sting. You also don't take Serpent Sting on the tree at all because you don't have to, which is really, really great. So this is kind of how the build works. You basically want to get into the window where you are pressing Mongoose Bite as much as humanly possible. You want to maximize the amount of time that you spend pressing 5 stacked Mongoose Bites. That's what you're trying to do. I'm going to show you the gameplay here in a second, but that's the basic loop of what you're trying to do. All these other talents are just here to support you in pressing Mongoose Bite as much as you possibly can. That's the idea. Now, I actually don't know if I even need car. I wonder if I can take this out. Yeah, so I could put something. I could put another point in here. I just realized that. We could take Coordinated Assault, although Coordinated Assault really doesn't matter here. We don't necessarily need the cooldown of our bombs to come back quicker. We could take Fury of the Eagle. Does about 17,000 damage. But really, I don't think we want to spend any time not pressing Mongoose Bite as much as we possibly can. So we're going to take this for now. I wonder if there's like a better... Could just get Flanking Strike damage. We're just going to take this for now. That's actually interesting to me. We're just going to see how it goes. The reason wasn't taking Coordinated Assault before is because it focuses entirely on Wildfire Bomb and Kill Shot, and we're not going to be pressing those as much as maybe we normally would. I don't have Wildfire Infusion. I tried this build with Wildfire Infusion, and I've tried it without, and I think it's fine without Wildfire Infusion. If you take Wildfire Infusion, you feel like you're focusing on the bombs a little bit too much. What I want to focus on with this build is Mongoose Bite and Kill Command. That is almost entirely what you're going to be pressing. So here's how it looks. When Spearhead goes off, I'm able to Mongoose Bite a lot, and I want to be Mongoose Biting a lot. That's all I really want to be pressing. So I want to get the rest of my buttons out of the way as much as I possibly can. Okay? Here's what this is going to look like. Again, the last 3 dummy tests that I've done, we've done about 30,000 damage each time, almost 31k, which is actually very, very good. That's without Lust. That's with terrible gear. 13% haste. This is just going to get better when you actually get some real haste going on here. So let's check this out. We're going to start out with a Wildfire Bomb into a Kill Command, and then we're going to go like Death Chakram, Spearhead, and we're going to go, okay? Wildfire Bomb, here we go. Okay, Death Chakram, Spearhead, and we're going. Here we go. Boom, boom, boom. Mongoose Bite, Mongoose Bite, Mongoose Bite. We're just going to keep pressing it. One little Kill Command there. Mongoose Bite, Mongoose Bite. We're at 5 stacks. We want to maximize how many times we're pressing Mongoose Bite with 5 stacks up. That's the whole point there. Okay, now we're out of it. We're going to get our buffs back up again. We're kind of managing our energy a little bit, trying to press Mongoose Bite as much as possible because we want to get to the 5 stack mark, and then we want to hit Mongoose Bite when we're at the 5 stack mark as much as we humanly can. That's really the whole goal here. Okay, we're going to go Coordinated Assault just for some fun. Again, it doesn't really matter. Back to full energy. Here we go. Mongoose Bite, Mongoose Bite, Mongoose Bite. We're going to Death Chakram to get some focus. Then we're going to keep Mongoose Biting. 5 stacks. Mongoose Bite. Mongoose Bite. Flanking Strike into Mongoose Bite. Flanking Strike's just there to get us energy so that we can, again, press Mongoose Bite. I know I'm saying that word a lot, but I just want to make sure that you all get it into your heads exactly what I'm trying to do here. What you don't want to do is get yourself stuck in a rut where you can't get to 5 stacks and then continue to press Mongoose Bite. You want to be able to get to 5 stacks of the Mongoose Fury and be able to press Mongoose Bite once you get there. If you can't do that, you're kind of in trouble. We're going to start this window up. Here we go. We're going to go flanking now. Okay, here we go. Spearhead's coming up. There we go. Spearhead. Here we go. We're at 5 stacks. We're going to get 1, 2, 3. There we go. Now we have to reset our Mongoose stacks again, but that's okay. When we're in Spearhead, it allows us to just cast Mongoose Bite so many times. We're back up to 35k DPS, by the way. Pretty good. So this build is all about pressing Mongoose Bite, especially when you're at 5 stacks. I shouldn't have pressed it right there. I'm going to waste this entire Mongoose Fury window, but that's okay. See what I'm saying, guys? This is what the build is all about. Get to 5 stacks, continuously being able to press Mongoose Bite. when you're at 5 stacks. So now I have no stacks. I'm going to chill for a minute. We're going to throw a bomb. We're going to do one more kill command, and then we're going to start it up. We're starting up our stack again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Death Chakram's coming back. 5. This is perfect. Here we go. Death Chakram will give us focus and make us do more damage for the last couple of Mongoose Bites they've had. Now, I didn't do that very well, but you can see the idea. We're basically tunneled here at about 33k. I'm going to run away, and it's going to lower my damage a little bit, but you can see how it works. So the Windwalker Monk build that I had did the highest single target damage that I'd seen of any build. It was peaking at about 40k for single target for Windwalker Monk. Getting to 31, almost 32k for Survival Hunter is very good for Survival Hunter. It's very, very good, okay? I don't think that Windwalker Monk's going to stay at the 40k single target mark. It's probably going to get nerfed a little bit, whereas I don't think Survival Hunter's going to get nerfed. This is huge for Survival Hunter. They have not had the ability to do this much single target damage in a very long time. Most of Survival Hunter's kit is AoE focused. You got Wildfire Bomb doing tons of AoE damage. You can spread your Serpent Sting with Hydra's Bite. You've got Explosive Shot now. You've got Fury of the Eagle and Coordinated Assault are both centered around your Wildfire Bombs, or you could take the Kill Shot Birds of Prey thing, but it's mostly Wildfire Bomb stuff, and just that's what most of your damage is. And then you have things like Butchery, which are, of course, going to continuously give you more AoE damage as well. So traditionally, Survival Hunter's been pretty bad at single target damage, even with Mongoose Bite. And I think they finally got it to a place where your Mongoose Bite is hitting pretty hard. I had a 103,000 hit Mongoose Bite. I would love to be able to see actually how often I was hitting with Mongoose Fury at full stacks, but it's not really something that I can test here. But just understand, guys, this is the build basically that you're going to be running. If you're taking Survival Hunter into a raid, let me just review the whole build for you really quickly here. On the class side of things, we have amazing defensives now. Survival of the Fittest, you can cool it down quicker and make it last longer. Born to be Wild cools it down. You have Exhilaration Healing, and you have Aspect of the Troll. So you can still immune stuff, but it's not the only defensive you have now. You can immune stuff for actual immunities that need to be done, and then the next time you're going to get hit with some big AoE damage, you can press Survival of the Fittest and heal it up with Exhilaration. Very, very good on the class side. On the spec side, we come down and take Mongoose Bite, and then we take every other button that we have is here to lift up and support Mongoose Bite so it can do its job. Spear Focus, 10% Mongoose Bite damage. Bloody Claws, each stack of Mongoose Fury increases the chance for kill command to reset itself, which again gives you more focus continuously, allowing you to press more Mongoose Bites. Flanking Strike doesn't do a lot of damage. It gives us 30 focus. Look how much damage it did. It only did about 2% of our damage. But guess what? It generated focus for us. Allows us to Mongoose Bite more. Viper's Venom casts a free Serpent Sting, so we don't ever have to touch Serpent Sting while we're pressing Mongoose Bite. Great, that's perfect. Arcane Shot, free Arcane Shots. I don't even know how many we got here. Actually did almost 2.6% of our damage. Not bad for one talent. And then, of course, Spearhead is all about Mongoose Bite, Mongoose Bite, Mongoose Bite. It reduces the cost of Mongoose Bite, allows you to spam it more often, and it puts a dot on the enemies. Here it is right here. Almost 5% of our damage just from the Spearhead dot that Mongoose Bite is applying. So Death Chakram is in the same category. All these things, all these talents are just here to lift up Mongoose Bite and let it do its thing. Now, that might sound really simple, but it's actually not. You need to manage this window correctly. You don't ever want to start a Mongoose Bite window and then only have like 30 or 40 energy and you're kind of already tanked and you have no way of getting energy back. Like, you want to start every Mongoose Bite window at like 100 energy or 110 basically, and then work your way down and then blast yourself up with like a flanking strike, a couple kill commands, and then you're in the 5-stack window and you just go boom, 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 boom. And imagine if this build had any haste whatsoever. If I was sitting at like 25% haste instead of 13, guys, this build would feel incredibly strong. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. What do you think about Survival Hunter? Do you think that their single target damage is now significantly better than it has been in the past? I think it is, but I want to hear from you guys. Let me know what you think in those comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. Drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. I love you all. I'll see you in the next one.